There's a problem with this video, and that is, if you're a Canadian leftist like myself, I'm not going to use the language and rhetoric that you like to hear. I'm not going to talk about corporations, neoliberalism, profiteering, capital accumulation, etc. I am going to talk about how real estate investment trusts have convinced the left to support policies that hurt everyone. And I am going to explain, in no uncertain terms, what the root of this housing crisis is. When the left talks about housing, they often talk about the affordability crisis. So the solutions they propose involve regulating the cost of housing down. Somehow. Various policies have been proposed. But what we will discover in this video is that even if we do this, there is another problem in housing that not as many people recognize. The housing shortage. When something is scarce in a capitalist system, money decides who gets it. If we get around this messed up expression of scarcity, we simply end up with different expressions of scarcity, like long wait lists, bribery, illegal subletting. You know what, this problem has already been covered by so many people. I highly recommend watching this video from Oh the Urbanity if you want to understand why shortages hurt no matter the system. Because I'm done with making this video. I've been teasing a video on leftist housing policy since before Carney was elected, but I'm never satisfied with the result because the depth to which people misunderstand housing is astonishingly complex. And it's extremely frustrating to see politicians continue to tout band-aids as the solution to the housing crisis. I'm not talking about the politicians who actually say they're going to allow more housing to be built and then fail to do so, tarnishing the very idea. I'm talking about the politicians who act like vacancy control is anything more than a short-term anti-eviction measure that only makes sense because of a broken housing market. Rent control and vacancy control are policies, not slogans.
Rent control of the kind we have here in Quebec, capping big increases but exempting new buildings for 5 years, provides tenant stability without, as far as I can tell, deterring rental construction. But fundamentally, it manages the symptoms of the housing crisis.
I can't take on the responsibility of housing policy mythbuster every month when some new kind of NIMBYism comes out. But I gotta give y'all something, so let's finish the tier list. San Francisco's rent control is F tier. Berlin's rent control is F tier. Affordability requirements without subsidies are F tier. By the way, telling someone they're wrong and they should go and educate themselves doesn't mean they're going to do so. However, I have put sources in the description if you would like to read them. Please do. Banning investors is F tier. NIMBYism is especially F tier because it's exactly what real estate investors want you to do. BC's rent control is D tier. Sweden's rent control is B tier. Quebec's rent control is B tier. But none of these are big solutions yet. Policies to support nonprofits and community land trusts are A tier. Investment in building new public housing is A tier. And upzoning, the necessary policy change that makes it possible to build anything at all, is S tier. Shortages hurt no matter the system. The moral of the story is, housing is a commodity, and whether you sell it to the highest bidder or ration it out on a breadline, it would be much better if there was simply enough for everyone. Governments regulate the production of this commodity, so if we want things to get better, we need to talk to the people who build housing, and the people who want to build housing but can't right now, like smaller developers, community groups, churches, groups of friends that want to build a house together. We need to talk to the people who want to build housing where people want to live, and understand why they can't. And when you see that housing get built, and you see rents starting to drop as they have in Victoria, things start to look better.